Okay, so I guess this is somewhat of a ghost lore. That's too short. Okay, sure. So there's a reason why I don't do funerals anymore. Like, it really has to be like someone, like, knock on wood, someone in my immediate family. Not that I'm saying this, universe, stop. But I had an experience at a funeral that I thought that it would never happen, right? Actually, this music's a little too loud. So I went to this funeral, right? First of all, this happened at a family reunion that unfortunately led to a funeral, which was fucking weird. So I went to a family reunion. I don't even know what year it was. Maybe it was 2017, 2016, 17. I don't know. It long time ago, right? Go slow before math? Yeah. So I went to this family reunion. A bunch of people came up here. Usually, like, I think like we alternate. Like, either we'll go down there or they'll come up here. This one was one of those ones that they came up here. Sure, fine. And things of that nature. Or I have no idea. Whatever. So we did this family reunion. We went to this picnic area, did a whole cookout. It was nice, chatting up with people I haven't seen, or they haven't seen me since I was a baby or whatever. Fine. There was this one dude, this one guy that I was just like, I just said hey and that's it. But the reason why I said that is because that night he ended up getting shot and killed at a gas station. It was just like, what the fuck? Like, I just saw this dude like yesterday. I found out the news the next day. But that same night, like, he had a scuffle at a gas station and he ended up getting killed. I'm like, I just saw him a couple hours ago. But they orchestrated a funeral immediately, like here in Illinois. So, and I was forced to go because my dad was going to go. He was the only person that was going to go. And I told him, like, I really don't feel like going to a funeral, especially with a family member that I don't even know really like that. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go for, like, emotional support. So I went there. And this was one of those situations where my gut was telling me something is wrong. Something is off. You probably shouldn't go to this funeral. I'm like, why am I feeling like this going to a funeral? Like, that's sus right there. Red flag number one. I'm like, I'm trying to convince my family, like, I really don't feel like going. Like, something is off. Something feels weird. Like, I don't feel safe going to this funeral for whatever reason. And they kept convincing me, you should go, just be support and, you know, whatever. I'm like, all right, fine, sure. And I went there to the funeral. It was in a sketchy neighborhood. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, that gut feeling was telling me to not go, and here we go, like, proof in the pudding. So I'm going there, and I'm like, okay, just do the service and just go back home. Like, convince your dad to take you straight back home. We're not going to be staying to be talking to people. Like, please, let's just do this and go home. I'm sorry, I don't want to be here for whatever reason. I just got a bad feeling. So, went to the funeral. It was packed. It was huge. I think it was during the summer, so it was hot. Like, and you know how churches be fucking just, like, the temperature in a church was like hell. You know what I mean? I don't even like go to churches like that anymore. I just stopped going to churches like at least 10 years ago. But I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. Hot as hell in there, cramped. Everyone is there. And again, my gut feeling was like, something is off. Like, something don't feel right. Like, I don't feel like safe and secure at a church. Like, what the hell? Like, something is going wrong. I'm reading the, what they even call it? Pamphlet? Or not obituary. Or maybe this called the obituary. I don't know. But I'm reading the pamphlet, right? Of, like, detailing, like, their affiliation with the family, like, who they were, their life, and all that, who they're leaving behind. Turns out that this guy that was apparently, I don't know if he married into the family or he was actually part of the family. He was just like, I don't talk to every member of the family, right? So this person was a gang member. So much so, I don't know who orchestrated the funeral. I think his mother orchestrated the funeral, and she was there. I think the mother was actually a part of the family, and this was the son, or like I have no idea. It was weird. I never knew the correlation. Or like maybe like a far distant cousin or something. But he was a gang member. She orchestrated the funeral. The casket, it was an open face casket, right? The casket was a blood red, which was off-putting to me. I'm like, this is a very vibrant, expensive looking casket. And I'm not one to judge, but it's just like, I'm not used to seeing this. Like, this seems off. And they had placed all these pictures within the casket and all these different props. I'm like, this feels weird. And the dude's suit, I couldn't remember. But the dude's suit, I think, was all red. And I'm like, this feels weird. I don't want to call this a gang a gang funeral. But it was just like, what the fuck? This don't feel right at all. Like, I'm not saying like funerals are supposed to be orchestrated one way, but this was the first time that I saw something off or felt off about a funeral. And when I tell you this church was packed, it was packed. Every seat was filled, and there was like a whole, and there was like a double seating type of thing in the church. So you had people in the bottom, and then you had a high rise. That was filled. And then people were still standing up in the back by the door. That's how many people showed up. And I'm like, this is weird. This is off-putting. I feel like something's about to happen. Thank God nothing, hopefully nothing happens, but I had that feeling like something might happen. I'm like, please hurry this whole thing up so we could just go home, because I don't feel safe here for whatever, in a church too, for whatever reason. Service is going on, everything is going off. I'm reading this obituary. I'm like, this seems janky. Like, this seems weird. And I'm like, I don't even know what. Like, just get me out of here. Like, I don't feel good in here. Tell me why they were doing a final viewing of the casket and the body, right? Mind you, I went up there the first time and it was weird. I'm like, I'm not doing a second one. I'm cool. Like, I don't want to see this again. Like, I just want to get the hell out of here. Literally. Tell me why. A fight broke out. A fight broke out in the church during the viewing. And I think this is what had happened. One of the people on the other side of the gang showed up, went up to the second viewing, took a picture of the body. The mom went off, started throwing punches near me, right? And I'm sitting here, I'm like, ain't no way a fight is breaking out right now in a church during this funeral. Now I'm having like a mental breakdown. I'm like, Dad, get me the fuck out of here. Like, I don't feel safe. We gotta go. I think everyone at that point was just trying to calm the situation down. And at that point, I'm like, we're just going home. I'm telling my dad, we need to go home now. We need to go home now. Because anything could pop off now. Someone could get a gun. Anything could pop off at this point. And we went home. I didn't say a word. I was like, not like in a fetal position, but I was just like curled up in my car. I'm like, I don't know what the hell just happened. What did I just experience? And in my head, I was like, I told you I didn't want to go. I told you I didn't want to go. I should have trusted my gut. Do not make me go. And that is what happened. So at that point, I'm like, I can't do funerals. I can't do funerals. Not for that reason alone, but I already felt awkward with funerals. It's just like, I feel personally awkward with it. But after that, I'm like, I'm never doing a funeral again. Unless it's like, knock on wood again, an immediate family member or someone super close to me. I cannot do a funeral. That changed my whole life. Like, that was just really? Like, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't believe it. A fucking gang fight broke out inside the church at a funeral. And I found out the story of how this dude got killed, right? It was at a gas station. He tried to pick a fight with a young person. I don't know, for whatever reason. This is what was just told to me. That he tried to pick a fight with a young person. The young person pulled out a gun. And that's how that happened. But I believe it was instigated by, you know, the dude that died. It was just like, what the fuck, bro? Like, what are we doing? Like, anyway, sorry, that was Ghost Lore. My fault. I kind of made y'all sad in the chat. My fault. That's not what I wanted to do. I don't know why I decided to tell that story. But anyway.